Question number 4, soreness and recovery tips. I'm going to get real mad on this one, so you might want to start.
Interesting.
Yeah, I have a lot of opinions.
Okay. I already know one of them. Just because our relationship's relatively new and first time I met him. Don't talk to him about rollers.
Foam rollers.
Foam rollers. So I would say movement is really good. So anytime after like a leg day or an upper, whatever you lift, the probably worst thing to do is sit and do nothing for the whole rest of the day, because throughout the day you're gonna feel it and it's just gonna be worse, and you wake up the next morning and the morning after that and you're just gonna feel awful, and your butt's gonna hurt, your legs are gonna hurt, and you're just gonna feel stiff and bored. So anyways, stretching. If you can stretch 5 to 10 minutes, twice to 3 times as much as you possibly can, that would be great. Theragun to get out the kinks, bring blood flow to it, and just either going on a walk or any sort of movement. I think at the end of the day it's going to be beneficial to help reduce any sort of soreness. That's what
Are we allowed to argue?
Sure.
I don't care. So foam rollers, I don't like. With those, I don't like the Theragun. I don't like things like the compression boots. Basically, any product that you have to buy, I don't like. If it's free at your facility, have at it. I don't care. Right? But a lot of what's happening is just like supplements, you are being sold on a product. And so these percussion massagers, some of them are what? Like
$200.
Hundreds of dollars, right? And so let's look at the literature and the research. We'll go all the way back, and I'm sure some of us are old enough to remember rice, right? Rest, ice, compression. Well, the inventor of rice, of the theory of rice, even backtracked and said, hey, you know what? Actually, ice isn't actually doing anything, right? So a lot of what we're seeing in terms of recovery and soreness, we just don't know. What we do know is 100% is we do know that motion is lotion. So recovery is going to come down to getting your body to move, blood flow. So yes, percussion massage for localized blood flow, love it. If you think it's doing anything spectacular or different or more so, don't like it. And so, great example, I worked at a gym where we had the compression boots, right? And there was only 2 pairs. And so people would get almost a FOMO, right? Like I'm missing out. Like if 2 people were upstairs using the compression boots and I wasn't able to get there, I'd leave. People somehow thought that they were gonna be worse off. Well, you could just go take that same amount of time and go sit on a stationary bike and pedal. Why? The compression boots are just localized blood flow. What is a stationary bike gonna do? Localized blood flow. So I think getting up and moving is huge. And then let's look at the things that we say all the time and no one listens to us is proper nutrition and getting enough rest and sleep. And so in a world where everyone wants to do more, you might need to be doing less in terms of less active recovery, less going out and searching for things to help with soreness, and more of just sleeping, right? How many of us are getting that 68 hours of sleep? How many of us are actually making sure we're getting adequate amount of carbs in after a heavy session, which can help mitigate some soreness.
Yeah.
Anything else on your end? I know I came out of the gate hot there, so
right.
I disagree with you, but I don't fully disagree.
Right. There was some similarity.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I think it is about bringing the blood flow. So whether that's, at the end of the day, just motion and moving or stretching or some sort of blood flow.
And I think the biggest thing is do what you want to do. I don't like static stretching personally, just because I don't like it.
Right.
And so my beef with static stretching isn't that the static stretching, it's when you assume that you have to do it. And that's where people sort of fall out of love with their health and wellness. journey. And so when Coach Thomas says, hey, here are your options. You have foam rolling, you have static stretching, you have your percussive massage, you have walking, right? If you don't like those options, don't do those options. Figure out another option. But we see this time and time again is someone has been sold by their favorite influencer, their favorite athlete, a coach in the past who says to them, which I believe is fear-based BS, is you have to or else. You don't have to static stretch if you don't want to static stretch. You don't have to sit on a foam roller if you don't want to sit on a foam roller. But on the flip side, right, if you're someone who loves to static stretch after you work out, spend 5, 10, 15 minutes, it's going to help.
What if they did a dynamic warm up, 5 minute dynamic warm up, and then went into the dynamic or into a static stretch? Would that be better than just going into static stretch?
Are we talking pre or post exercise?
Pre.
So static stretching has kind of been chewed up and spit out recently. Even myself, for a while there, I was really against static stretching because the literature is kind of it's hard to get into. But again, for a while it was you must static stretch or else. Then we started seeing some interesting literature that says if you static stretch before a strength or a power based, your performance will go down. And then all of a sudden everyone says, hey, hang on, probably shouldn't static stretch. But I think one of the things that we have to realize is, does the person like it? What is the placebo effect of static stretching? If I'm a kid who I do that hamstring stretch, I feel it, I love it. That's just, I'm gonna go do a heavy squat session, that's what I want. Now me as a coach saying, hey, don't do that or you will get hurt, and now I take that away. What is that doing to the individual? So I think a lot of this comes back down, seems to be a theme that we're going through, is make sure that you're doing what you enjoy doing. And again, talk to your coach. I think your coach is gonna have some pretty good insight on when, where, and how to stretch, to foam roll.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah.